think too many of us don't live life that way.
And it's funny enough, man, because I used to live a lot like negative, and I've had to change my mindset a lot. The thing is, it's like, as long as we're like another day above the ground, there's something that we could do, no matter where we're at, right? We could be at dead zero, bank accounts, nothing happening, but we're still alive to be able to push another day.
Welcome to another episode of the Out of the System podcast. I'm your host, CLIMACO. My guest today is a marketing expert, someone who's specialized in running paid ads. Eddy Miranda. What's up, buddy?
How's it going, man?
Good, man. How are you?
It's good. Doing amazing, man. Life is good. Another breath in my lungs, and
Amen.
you know, God wants to fulfill a purpose, man, while I'm around.
I think too many of us don't live life that way.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And it's funny enough, man, because I used to live a lot like negative, and I've had to change my mindset a lot. And the thing is, it's like, as long as we're like another day above the ground, there's something that we could do, no matter where we're at, right? We could be at dead zero in our bank accounts, nothing happening, but we're still alive to be able to push another day, right? And I think a lot of people think that because I have so many bad things happening that it's not worth it, or it's not, I don't have a purpose, but you're here for something.
Yeah.
And if you're here with breath in your lungs, you actually have something to do, and it's better than, you always have to progress forward on the next day, right? Like yesterday was yesterday, but today is another day that you can improve on what happened yesterday.
How do you think you developed that mentality?
It took a lot, right? You know, when I was younger, I grew up with a family that had a lot of negativity in it, right? So whenever I would look at an outlook in a particular situation, I would always look at the negative aspect, because my grandfather, my father, my grandmother, they were all negative Nancy's in my family, right? So I would always be looking at the negative, but just recently, I've come to realize that how your mindset is how your life projects.
Yes.
Right? So for me, I had to make that shift and start basically living up to the negativity and start living up to the positivity in my life and start looking at it a different light. And once you do that, your life completely changes, right? Because whatever you speak and whatever you think is what becomes around you.
Right.
So I had to work a lot on that, and just recently is where that really started to like really manifest in my life, and really impacting on the surroundings in my life.
That's incredible, because like what I heard you say was that you basically saw the patterns.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You notice that negative thinking equates to you having a negative outlook in life and you having a negative experience in life.
Yep.
So you quickly noticed that pattern and said, nope, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to shift that.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny enough because, like, you know, I've grown up with, like, hey, affirmations and thinking positively and things like that. And, like, no matter how much I tried, like, that really didn't work.
Yeah.
But just recently, I started reading a book. It's called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. F. Hart Ecker.
I've heard of it. I haven't read it, but I've heard of it.
Amazing book. It talks about financial success by changing your mindset. And if you really look into it, it has a lot of biblical principles in it as well.
It makes sense because money's a frequency.
Exactly, right? And, you know, you go back to, like, how people talk about The Secret and things like that, right? So, like, all of that really started making sense. And when, you know, it's right, because the more you complain, the more you actually think about things negatively, the more negative things happen in your life. Like, people go, it's like, oh, well, my life is horrible. I'm like, because you're speaking in that.
Right.
Right? Vibrations.
100%.
Vibrations. So just between, like, Think and Grow Rich and remembering what happened in there, but then just really reading that book, it really opened up my mindset to, like, man, I really have to change on how I'm speaking, how I'm looking at other people, how I'm even talking negatively about somebody else's success.
Yes.
Right? So that made the huge shift in me And funny enough, the reason I picked up that book was because of Dan Martell. He put in a YouTube video and he's like, I read this book financially, like I went through his courses and it completely changed my outlook of like my finances. I'm like, let me give it a try. And everything in there just made complete sense about like how you should be training your mind on how to have an outlook in life.
I love that. And I think more people need to go that route and read more books and open up their mind and rediscover, you know? I feel like too many people are too complacent with who they are and they don't want to evolve and grow and change and have that death and rebirth, you know?
Yeah, and I think as like a Cuban heritage, like we get very like, okay, I don't want to get out of this, like I'm comfortable.
Right.
But funny enough, like I've always had that eagerness that I wanted to be bigger and better than what I was. I didn't want to be this kid from, my neighborhood's called Sweetwater. Like I didn't want to be this kid from Sweetwater living an average life. I always wanted something great, right? And in order to live an above average life, you have to have an above average thinking.
For sure.
You know?
Otherwise, you can't tap into that frequency.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like, you know, and I always think about it like, it's funny enough, like I always think about it like as like molecules. Like everything's, even the air is molecules.
Yes.
And if you have certain vibrations or certain frequencies, that's what gets attracted to you, right? Or doesn't get attracted to you. So that's a very huge thing, because either way, whether we like it or not, you're here, you're there, I'm here, we're connected.
Yes.
Right? In any which way or form. Like
100%.
My vibration could affect you, your vibration could affect me.
Right.
Right? So we got to look at it. The more positive vibration, the better your life is going to be.
Right. The better energy you're putting out in the world.
Yep.
Right? The better return you're going to have also.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's incredible. How'd you get into marketing? How'd that come to be for you?
That's funny. I've actually been getting that question a lot lately. So funny enough, you know, at the age of 18, I started as a graphic designer. So I did club flyers here in Miami. You know, did it for quite a while, a few different things. And then I got into web development in 2008, designing all that stuff. So around like 2016, I started going on my own. I had my own agency in design and web development, started helping out a few companies with, you know, social media marketing and all that kind of stuff. But in 2019, I was like, okay, I want to be able to start making my own revenue. Like,
okay,
I was kind of getting tired of the agency model, especially for graphic design and for web development.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, I have all this background. I'm like, well, let me get into drop shipping. I was like, okay, you know, that's like a pretty cool model. You know, I ship from China. I know how to build Shopify stores. I'm like, I just need to learn how to do the paid ad side. So I started like learning with my own money. And then my wife at the time, she was in network marketing. And you know how network marketers are. They're like, hey, you're going to go to friends and family. I'm like, no, we're not doing any of that stuff.
Right.
Like, we're going to do it differently. So I started building funnels for her recruitment. No, trust me. I'm like, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
So I started building funnels for recruiting people, and started doing it enough that people were like, hey, Eddie, can you do that for me? Hey, so come around, 2019, 2020, I started doing it for myself, started running paid ads, and I'm like, this is actually pretty cool, right? Because I used to do design, and I used to do web development, and everybody was like, what's my ROI on a web development? I'm like, dude, it's a branding. Like, there's no ROI on this.
Right.
And if you have a Shopify store, like, you're not running paid ads, you're just doing, Instagram marketing and stuff like that. Like, there's no control of it. But then I started doing it, I started getting results, and I'm like, this is pretty cool. For like every $1 that I spend, I'm getting 4 back. And
That's great.
And I love the funnel aspect of it, that you're just selling one thing. So it just became out of like necessity, and started loving the fact that I was able to get tangible results for clients and be like, hey, I could get you this, and it's much easier to exchange the value than, hey, I'm going to build you a website, or I'm going to do graphic design for you that holds no monetary weight.
Got it. That's very true. Because a website is one of those things that like, you need one, but you can't quantify it.
You can't. There's no way.
right? But you need one.
But you need one.
You know,
you
like,
need
you need
one.
one.
Like everybody needs it, at least from a branding perspective. Like
Yes.
somebody's going to look for you.
Yeah. It's
but-
your virtual store, right? It's a storefront, basically, right?
And even with a Shopify store, if you're not running traffic to it, you're not getting people to buy.
No one knows you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when I was doing all that stuff, it was just like, okay, like I had a couple clients, switched them over to Shopify, and when I did that, they were just relying on organic traffic. They never had any paid ads or anything like that. So it's like, okay, we got a really bad month. Like, okay, like what are we? I'm like I don't know what to do. Like,
Right.
there's no way to justify it. But once I start running the paid ads and start running that to like Shopify stores and to funnels using ClickFunnels and things like that.
Probably things changed fast.
Yeah, the exchange was fast. The results were immediate, and we could actually see like how everything was kind of going.
Advertising is so crazy.
Yes.
It really is. I think the fact that Facebook created that new market, right? Because before them, there was no real advertising online in the way that it is today, right? You would advertise on websites, on small links, but it wasn't like revolving, recurring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't like this.
Yeah, and I remember that. So like what happened before Facebook was like Google AdSense.
Google
or
AdSense.
AdWords.
Yes, exactly.
And that was even like, it was rough.
It was chaotic.
It was chaotic.
Yeah.
And you had to rely on SEO and see if people find you
Yes.
and all this kinds of stuff. So when Facebook came out with like, oh my God, we're going to be launching paid ads, that was like the kerosene to the fire that everybody can now make like Google amounts of money on
Yes.
a platform, And even to today, like Facebook is still the king of paid traffic at the end of the day. Like
Versus what? Instagram and TikTok?
well, I mean, Instagram is still part of Facebook.
Meta, right,
So,
yeah.
So versus like YouTube versus TikTok versus Twitter, like I'm sorry, X. Let me be correct here. But it's still the fallback platform that everybody uses for paid ads.
It's the most comfortable one, I think.
It's the most comfortable one, and it's
Yeah.
the one that's the most justifiable for your return on ad spend, right? So like I've run campaigns on YouTube and Google and Facebook, and it also depends on the kind of business as well.
Right.
But Facebook is always the immediate thing, and then like Google could be like the capture afterwards, depending on the business. Otherwise, it's always Meta is always the highest performing platform.
Why do you think so many people can't seem to wrap their head around ads? I feel like a lot of people see, like in the beginning, when I first began, it was rocket science, man. I didn't know what anything meant. I didn't know what click rate was or this or that or, it feels very daunting in the beginning. But then you start doing it and you do one ad and you do another one and you see the metrics and you see it. Yeah. But I feel like a lot of people aren't even willing to go that far and they get stuck.
Yeah. Yeah, because it can be very daunting, right? Just understanding how the platform works and how it's structured is one thing. But even Meta itself like has a lot of updates all the time. Like they end up putting a checkbox somewhere that completely changes how everything kind of works, right? So it could be daunting in that sense. And a lot of my students are like, hey, like this changed. Like, what do I do now? Like, how am I going to be able to, get better conversions because things are changing on the platform, the algorithm's changing and things like that. But Meta's making this humongous shift, right? They're trying to simplify the platform as much as possible.
That makes sense.
But so like the average Joe could start going in there and start tinkering around and just not do as many things and just start launching ads.
Right.
But the biggest catalyst right now inside of the paid ads world is your creative, like your image, your video, your copy, right? Because if you notice even on Meta, what they're doing is that they're simplifying the targeting, right? And everybody's like, okay, what interest do I use? Do I use Russell Brunson as an interest? Do I use Tony Robbins as an interest? And I'm like, don't use any of that stuff because
it's too wide, right?
It's too wide. And after iOS 14, there's been a lot of changes in targeting because of privacy restrictions. So what you need to do now is that you need to communicate through your ads who your ideal avatar is, right? So the way you communicate with your avatar is the way you need to communicate on your ads. And that is going to help Meta find the right person.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Right. So if you're going to say, hey, I'm going to help you make your first $10,000 a month, you're going to probably attract broke people in your communication. But hey, I'm going to help you get 10 more clients and make an additional $10,000 a month. You're going to get somebody that already has a business that started and already has clientele.
I
right?
see what you're saying.
So when you communicate on the platform in a specific way is going to be how you're going to be targeting people, right? And I'll give you a prime example. There was an agency that I worked for. They did service-based companies, roofers, remodelers, HVAC, and plumbers. And they were complaining about lead quality.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, well, Eddie, how can you help us with this? We want to be able to get better people with bigger companies coming through to our sales team. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, first of all, you're calling out just roofers, remodelers, HVAC, and plumbers on your ads. And one tweak that I did for them, even though I changed the copy, the call out for the avatar I changed. I go roofers, remodelers, plumbers, or HVAC people making $500,000 or more. Now, yes, our cost went up, but the back end, the sales team was happy because they're like, oh, these are our people, right? So that simple change in messaging was able to help them double upfront their cash flow.
Interesting.
In 2 to 3 months, right?
One little thing that you made, it made someone else, oh, that's me. I'll raise my hand to that, right? I fit that category.
Yeah, and it also helps Meta really target those kinds of people as well, right? Like you see a lot of people going over, coaches, consultants, and course creators.
Yeah.
And that helps you target those kinds of people. But then you go coaches, consultants, and course creators that make $100,000 per month. Right now, your cost goes up, but now you're hyper focused on people that are actually making money versus the people that are starting the coaching business that have no idea what they're doing.
Got it. So let me understand something. When I make a video and I'm saying something on that video, the algorithm knows what I'm saying.
Yep.
Okay.
It actually scans it.
That's crazy.
It actually scans your videos, your copy, your images. It knows what who you're speaking to and what you're targeting.
That's really nuts.
Yeah.
So it's reading my voice. It's seeing the script, right? The description.
It even knows what's on your videos. So if it flashes something that it doesn't like, it's like, oh, well, that's against policy. And it was flashed on your video. You get what I'm saying? So it really scans everything that's happening in your verbiage, your headlines, your copy, even your landing page. Like it goes into your landing page and sees what kind of, what you're actually saying on the actual landing page itself.
That's crazy. Okay. What are things that can get you, are there things that you can do that can offset you and get you better targets, better leads other than that?
I mean, that is the main thing, like how you communicate, because how you communicate is going to be the people that you get. But
got it.
It also
that makes sense.
It also depends on what you're trying to achieve on the platform. Like, are you trying to sell high ticket and trying to sell a $10,000 product, and you want to make sure that they're qualified? So off platform, you could do applications with disqualifications and making sure that they jump through a couple hurdles to make sure it's the right people jumping on the phone. When it comes straight to purchase, there's really not availability on doing that other than price.
Okay.
Right. So like I've seen the difference between a $17 product and a $27 product. Just the kind of people that come through there is completely different, right? A $27 versus a $47 product, completely different people coming through. They're going to be way more qualified, right? So you do things on the tail end that will actually help you qualify the people that you really want to come through, right? You want people to spend money, well, and jump on a call with you. You qualify them with an application, making sure that they're the right people, and you disqualify whoever you feel is not going to be a right fit. And then for a direct to purchases based off of price, right? You the higher the price, the better quality person is going to come through your pipeline.
What is a decent click-through rate?
So for me, the bare minimum of a click-through rate. And if you don't know what the click-through rate is basically when somebody clicks on your ad and then lands on the landing page, right? A decent click-through rate is like a 0.75%. And that's bare minimum.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
But what I've seen recently is a click-through rate at anywhere from a 0.75 to a 2.5% is actually amazing.
Okay.
Right? So once I start seeing a 0.75 like around there, I start questioning if the message is really hitting the audience that you're trying to get to.
Got it. So a sweet spot would be probably 1.2, 1.25.
Yeah, anything above that would be like really, really good, right? And then I look at other metrics as well. There's another metric called CTR all, which is click-through rate all, which really lets me know on how people are engaging with the actual ad, right? So that lets me know if it's a scroll stopper, and then the click-through rate lets me know if the message is hitting on the ad, right? So the CTR all is basically if they hit the see more button, like in order to expand the text, they liked it, they commented on it, they shared it, they went to your profile. All those things are factors of the click-through CTR all.
CTR all.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I'm learning a lot right now. This is great. Because that matters, right? Because they showed interest.
Correct. Yeah. So, like, for instance, I was actually coaching somebody today, and we were seeing that her CTR all was like at 4%. But then her click-through was like at a 0.80%. Like maybe 95, right? So then that tells me a story. That story tells me is that the image is good enough to attract the person, but the copy is not good enough for them to be able to click through in order to submit their information, right? So then that's when I start making adjustments depending on what the information I'm seeing.
How did you get that from that?
Well, because the thing is like a typical, difference between a CTR all and a click-through rate is about half, right? So if her CTR all is 4%, her click-through rate should be at 2%.
Got it.
You get what I'm saying? And I know that we're getting good people, but if it's less than that, and we're at the 0.75 when her CTR is at 4%, then that's where I'm starting to question this message is not really hitting, right? It's not really gravitating the person. It's not hitting their pain points. And it's not really attracting the person in order to take the next step, which is either to submit their information or to purchase something.
Got it. Very interesting. How many clients do you have?
Right now, I'm about like 13 done for you clients, but then I have about another 20 coaching clients. Right.
Is it all you, or do you have a team?
Right now, it's me, but I'm actually building a team. So the first thing I'm doing is a junior media buyer. So like junior media buyer could take the lower accounts, so then I could focus on everything else. And basically, like right now, I have like a revolving door because I have a low ticket, and all of that is bringing in all my clients. So I don't want to stop that, right? Because I want to be able to expand and grow. So my first hire is a junior media buyer. My second hire is probably going to be an executive assistant.
What's a junior media buyer?
So somebody that has like less than 2 years experience and really wants to learn the ropes, right? They understand it. They've already been running ads, maybe lower spend, things like that. They know how to get around the platform, but they really want a good amount of guidance in order for them to be able to learn and go to the next step.
Very interesting. Yeah. Because you're probably busy as hell.
I don't stop, dude. Like
That's a
work
lot for one person. 13 clients plus 20.
20 coaching clients.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm on calls all day long, and even then, like I've already like hired. I'm collaborating with another team to like take my sales calls and do my setting, because not only do I have like the 20 coaching clients and I have the 13 done for you clients, I have a community of 600 people inside school
That's
that
awesome.
I'm constantly filling, and that's new leads coming our way, and I have a setter that goes in through all the conversations to try to get more book calls so we can start ascending people even further.
Yeah, you need an assistant. ASAP.
Yeah, like it's even hard for me just to even have if you notice, like my social media is kind of dead right now.
Yeah.
Because I've just been so busy, and even my wife, she's like, I'm trying to help you out with this, but it's like you don't like we're so like tapped out right now that's even suffering right at the moment.
Okay, so where are you planning on getting a VA from?
So it really depends. An executive assistant, and I probably won't title her that, but I'm probably going to be looking for somebody in South America.
That's what I was going to tell you.
Yeah, so that's like a really, really good market for assistants, because one, they
Yeah.
speak the language, and second, they're in the time zone.
Correct.
I've tried the Philippines, and that ends up being a learning curve, and it's really difficult with time and
Same.
things like that. So
I agree 100%.
But then as far as like the junior media buyer, like I'm looking in Pakistan, I'm looking in India, I'm looking in different regions.
Got it.
Even South Africa.
Yeah.
I think as long as they have a good technical mind, they could really do it. But I also need to let them have like a little sliver of creativity, right? Because they have to know copy, they have to know the creatives as well.
How do you feel about AI?
I use it for everything. Like honestly. So funny enough, like one of my products is actually a GPT for copywriting, because I built a format that that basically helps with the copywriting. It's not like the typical GPT copywriting, like it actually takes you through steps. But even with my funnels and my clients and everything like that, like I feed it the metrics to figure out what I need to work on next.
That's awesome.
Inside of either my campaigns or inside of my funnel. So I don't do a step without sending it to ChatGPT first.
That's the future.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in their right mind is going to produce anything without including ChatGPT.
No, I ask it for everything, even biohacking things, everything.
Same.
Like I ask it for everything.
It's my best friend.
Yeah, yeah. It's like other than my wife is like the one that I
Right,
talk to
exactly.
the most.
Exactly. Sometimes me and my wife are there talking to ChatGPT.
No, and it's funny because my wife will see me. She's like, I'm talking to her. She's like, you could do that. I'm like, yeah. Like I voice note it because I feel I could get a lot more out of voice noting it than typing it.
Yes, I know what you mean.
Right. So I literally tell it everything. I'm like, this is what I'm going through. This is what I want. I want you to act like my media buyer, my fractional CMO, my CEO, like everything like that. Right. Like, let me know what to do.
Right.
There was actually this huge problem that I had because I had my funnel, like my low ticket funnel, had running. One day I got like 240 people into that whole funnel.
Wow.
And everything broke. And I'm like,
of course.
And I'm like, okay, this is great. So I'm like, I got to onboard everybody into my school community by hand. So the next few days ended up happening. And
Bro,
I'm like,
that process didn't make you get an assistant?
no,
Doing all
I mean,
that
no, I
manually.
wanted to though. But like a few days after I kind of like onboarded everybody into school, I kept on getting sales, and I'm like, man, I don't want to be like manually like adding people into school and like opening up their courses. So it was one day, like on a Monday, I'm like, I'm done with this. I need to automate this. So I'm like, I start asking everybody. I'm like, hey guys, do you guys know workflows on how to be able to, fix this? Because I asked school, I'm like, hey guys, like this is the issue I have. They're like, in order for you to unlock multiple courses, it has to be one invitation. Every time you send multiple invitations, it basically cancels out the previous one. I was like, oh, so like if somebody buys my course and my upsells, I have to send one invitation with them opening up that. I'm like, okay, great. Like, how do I figure this out? So I started asking my like I'm big on Facebook. I have a lot of connections on Facebook.
Facebook is huge. Facebook groups are incredible.
Yeah. But I have like a lot of high-end people on.
Got it, like friends.
Like friends and stuff
Got
like
it.
that. So I put up a post and everybody starts like giving me feedback. And they're like, dude, like,
That's powerful.
Like, we don't know how to do this. Like, I don't know. So like I literally made a Loom so I could send it to people. I'm like, you know what, let me get the transcript, put in ChatGPT, there's the issue. Oh, okay, well, you just have to get ActiveCampaign and then make a workflow on how to be able to unlock everything. I'm like, oh crap, like how do I do it? And I asked it, how do I do it? And it gave me step by step, and in 30 minutes I had the problem solved.
That's awesome.
Right, so like that's how powerful it is. Like you could ask it to help you on specific situations
Yes.
that nobody else would be able to help you out with.
Yes. It's changed my life. Like, I'll go to my wife, honey, how do we live before ChatGPT? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's gotten to that point. Like, what do we do? I know what we did. We Google searched and went from page to page to page
Trying to find the
trying to
solution.
find the info.
Yeah, like I actually stopped Google searching.
Yeah?
You know, unless if it's like a location or something like that.
Here's what I noticed. I'll Google search something. Like, sometimes ChatGPT doesn't have the most up-to-date information.
Correct, yeah.
So then I'll go to Google Gemini, which is on Google, and I'll ask the same question, and it'll give me the answer because
Yeah.
Google's AI has a more up-to-date learning management.
No, but you know that you could ask ChatGPT to research.
Yes, it's a new feature. I haven't used it yet, but I've heard of it.
Yeah, so then like I go
The
like,
research feature.
Hey, this is like the avatar I'm working with. I kind of know what their struggles are, but can you research and find more of their pain points and things like that, right? So I'll go into Reddit, I'll go to other pages, and like start like getting all the information and bring it into the prompt that I'm in.
That's awesome.
So you could, even though it's not up to date, you could ask it to find current information, so you could have a more up to date prompt.
Where do you see AI going?
Man, where do I see AI going? I kind of see it in the sense of like it's going to be part of our everyday life, from marketing, doing our creatives, doing our copy, everything like that on a more systematic way, to the sales process and closing people, to the actual functionalities of the actual business itself, right?
That's a lot of jobs.
It's a lot of jobs. So like I know somebody that he owns one of the biggest agencies around. He has over 200 employees. He literally fired about 50 to 75 people because of AI.
What?
So
He automated that much?
She automated it that much. Like
That amount of that's a boatload of savings.
correct. Right. So it's not only going to be saving companies a lot of money, but it's also going to make the company scale faster.
Yeah.
Right.
AIs don't sleep.
No, at all. And even then, like there's even systems already that take setters out of the equation.
Really?
Right. So you could have AI, you know, send out emails for you, send out chats, do everything like that, set people, and then book them on calendar for the sales guy.
Wow.
So it's completely automating majority of a lot of businesses and a majority of the aspects that you need people and training
Yeah.
to be able to implement.
It's crazy. It's going to be a lot of people who are going to need to be retrained.
Yes. And the thing is like people think like, oh, well, AI is like taking my job. No, it's just repositioning you for a new one.
Yes, I agree 100%.
Right.
Learn
And-
new skills.
Exactly. So like I'll tell you like a story. Like there's this guy named Jeff J. Hunter, and he had a VA company in the Philippines. He would fly over there every few months and making sure that they're trained. And AI ChatGPT came out, and he's like, no, I'm going to beat it. I'm going to make sure that my VAs are ahead of it and everything like that. Like, but he couldn't figure out a way to outbeat it.
How?
So
You're going to plug in the internet to their brain?
yeah, exactly.
Like, what are you going to do?
And so he's like, okay, there's no way of me winning this, right? My VA's jobs are going to be, you know, not there anymore after this whole change. Like, I'm going to lose my copywriters. I'm going to lose my, you know.
100%.
So he pivoted. He actually turned his agency into an AI agency and showing people on how to be able to utilize AI, and basically used it as the backbone.
Smart.
Right?
You got ahead of the game.
Exactly. So it's not replacing your job, it's pivoting you into a new one. And if you don't learn on how to be able to utilize AI, your next job is going to be ill-equipped.
Yeah. That's powerful. Let me ask you a question. I know video is king, right? But do you think like graphic posts still have the same impact?
I love that you asked that question. Because I'm going to give it like in my own example, right? I'm literally using a solid background and a hook on my images. And that is converting amazingly.
That's awesome. I love hearing that.
So kind of like what I did is like I didn't put my face, I didn't put a graphic, I didn't do anything like that, right? I just took a nice powerful hook, put it on like a square box, red, black background, white background with black text, like nothing fancy. And that was able to help me out test to see if my messaging worked. Now I throw video into it based off of proven messaging, and then both of those combined are actually doing amazing, right? So
is it cheaper to run graphics than video, or is it the same price?
it's quicker to launch it. Now it just depends on the creative, right? So the way that Meta works is very simple, right? Like you would have to have a mixture of all these still images, reels, and videos. And Meta serves it up to the person when they feel like they just need to know about you versus when they want to make a decision, right? So I utilize this program called Hyros, and Hyros lets me see the journey of the customer. What ad did they click on, and what ad did they convert on?
Really?
Right? So I'll see them.
Wait, what software is this?
It's called Hyros.
Hyros.
Yeah.
You can see the person's progress through the what?
Yeah. So like
That's crazy. That's like witchcraft.
So like you could see if they landed, clicked on your ad on a specific creative, but then clicked on your ad in order to convert, right?
That's really cool.
So I could see that people are bouncing on my ads a couple of times.
Got it.
And I could see which one helped them convert, right? So they could have been seeing a video, clicked, like, okay, cool, let me come back to, then see the image and then convert on the
That's
image.
great data.
Right? So that's the way like Meta kind of works. Like you have to have those variations in order to be able to get the person to make that decision, right? But initially what I did was like I started all with images, tested out my offer, and I tell my students to do the same thing too, right? Like you just don't want to be spending money or spending time on making video if it's not going to convert.
Right.
Right. So I tell my, I've done it myself, and I tell my students like, do image first, test that out. It works. Okay, cool. That messaging works. Okay, let's make some videos on that and let's throw that in, test it, and see how Meta starts interacting with all of these creatives together. And then from there, we actually start scaling what's actually working with each other.
Once you put your first ad, right? Realistically, how long before you see something?
I mean, it could be 30 minutes, it could be 2 hours, it could be a few days.
Okay.
So I'll give you two examples, right? Like I was doing a drop shipping store. It wasn't a drop shipping store, it was a Shopify store. Launched the ads, converted in 30 minutes, right? I launched ads for my stuff, didn't get anything working, had to change the messaging. The moment I changed the messaging, in 2 hours I got a sale, right? So it really depends. Like you could see instant results, or you could see like, okay, this is kind of lackluster. It's not really hitting, and you have to make changes.
Right.
But yeah, and it also depends on the amount of spend too, and what you're trying to achieve on it, right? Like so, if it's like a $17 product, you spend $30, you should be getting a sale on the first day, right? But if you're trying to book a call and spending $30, you're not going to see a result in like 5 to 6 days, right? If you're lucky, right? So it just depends. There's a lot of variables, but it just depends on what you're trying to achieve and how much spend that you have behind it and things like that.
It makes sense. What would you say should be the average amount if you're trying to get a call? About $100, $50?
Oh no! So like if you're trying to get a call and you're sending people through what's considered like a VSL, which is
Yeah.
they see a video, they do an application, then they book a call, and then
Right.
they land on a thank you page, right? That's typically, I would tell people not to spend anything less than $300 a day.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
Don't spend less than $300 a day.
Yeah, because
What's that a month?
So that would be roughly around anywhere from $30,000 to $60,000 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and the reason why is because of this. For somebody to actually book a call with you, ranges anywhere from $150 to $350. Right? So that's how much it costs for somebody to see your ad, watch the video, like the video, and enticed enough in order to apply.
Really?
Then to finish the application and then land on the book a call, and then to actually book the call. Right? There's a lot of steps there.
Yeah.
Right? But you could do that same thing and have it on Meta, and you could spend $30 a day, and the way you do it on Meta is called an Instaform. So you could have the VSL on Meta, have them do the application on an Instaform,
Right.
and then book a call, and then that's cheaper. And that I will tell them $30 to $50 because your lead cost for them to fill out the form is probably going to be anywhere from $30 to $50, depending on the industry and the kind of niche that you're in.
Got it. So that's the route to go,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, and I do that not only for myself, but my clients and my students. It's like, you want to test an offer, do it this way, because otherwise you're going to be spending boogle amounts of money.
That's crazy.
Or even not enough money and not getting the results going to a VSL versus using an on-platform form like an Instaform on Meta.
Yes. What are your thoughts on TikTok?
Love it. It's e-com crazy.
Yeah, I've heard.
Right? So what Meta was for the e-com world has become TikTok, right? Anything you want to buy, Shopify stores, things like that. Even the TikTok shop and what they have on there. So it's very quick buying decisions, low ticket items, things like that. We've tried selling things like books, and we've tried selling doing leads on there and things like that, and it's just not the quality. It may be super cheap, but it's not the quality, because you got to understand every platform has a different mindset.
Right.
Right. Meta is more of like, I'm here with my friends, I just want to see what's going on, and you need to really entice me enough to want to be able to purchase something from you. TikTok is like the 15-second thing. You need to capture my attention real quick. It's the fun videos, and that's all it really is on there.
Right.
So you have to capture their attention quick enough for just a small spend, right? X is like a humongous difference as far as like how you're running ads.
I don't even touch X.
No,
No.
at all.
It's just too, I don't know. It feels like a big void.
Well, it's very
You know what I mean?
it's very news driven,
Yes.
right? So if you want to capture people's attention there, you have to be very, very relevant to what's going on in the news cycle.
Yes.
And the news cycle on X is very quick.
Very.
And then you have something like Google and YouTube. Again, if you have an educational platform or something like that, it's very good for that, right?
Yeah.
Because people are on there to find something or to learn something,
Right.
right? So every platform has its niche
Makes
in
sense.
the industry, and you have to adjust, you know, your marketing strategy based off of what platform you're going to be on.
Is Snapchat still alive? Does it play a role in this?
Funny enough, I actually still hear about that.
Yeah.
And I think that people, I mean, I don't know enough about it to say anything, but what I have heard is that people still use it and people do get sales on it. But I personally don't see a reason.
It seems very young.
Yeah, very young. And I mean, I haven't used Snapchat since like 2017.
Same.
You know,
It's been a
like,
long time.
It's been a long time. So I don't know much about it, but I have heard people use it and they've gotten some results on it.
Are you a ClickFunnels guy?
You know what?
Like a die-hard ClickFunnel guy?
I mean, I am.
Yeah.
I've
That's okay.
no. Well, like
perfectly okay.
Well, let me tell you this. Like I am like. I've always won my 2 Comma Club award. I've worked with a couple of people that I could have gotten 2 Comma Club awards. They just didn't get them. But
Congrats.
no, thank you. But the thing is that the platform, especially the newer version, has a lot of problems. And what I mean by that, it's like I've had a lot of false sales, platform going down, workflows not working, things
Really?
like that. And trust me, I'm a ClickFunnels person through and through, but I've personally had to shift over to GHL because it just works, right?
GHL, baby.
And mind you, I'm not a huge DHL advocate, but when something works, it works.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't take away from that because I technically could have been losing far more revenue than being on ClickFunnels than if I wouldn't have switched to GHL.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
So, like for instance, I have a challenge that I do every 7 weeks or so. And she invites me on a Wednesday in order to teach paid ads. And when I go, hey, this is my offer, you guys want it, everybody bum rushes to the page.
Right.
Last time I used ClickFunnels for that, I can't get onto your page, it's not loading, I can't check out, this is happening, too many bugs happen.
That sucks.
And
that's the worst.
Exactly. So like what could have been, you know, 140 sales, what was 140 sales could have been 200 sales.
Easy.
You know, just because of that.
Yeah.
So because of those reasons is why I've been wanting to make the shift. And also when I'm running ads too, I will get a lot of complaints of, hey, I can't see your page, it's not loading, things like that. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, I'm probably losing a few sales just because of that. So
Yeah.
like, I had to make the switch.
I feel like Go High Level is more of a full system CRM
Yes.
that includes ClickFunnels inside of it.
Correct.
Kind of, right?
Yeah.
The same idea.
Yeah. Now, and funny enough, like I was actually teaching somebody today, like the builder for your funnels, it has ClickFunnels principles, right? Like you see the colors, you see the boxes and everything like that. But the builder itself is like kind of like WordPress, right? And coming from a web development background, like I'm like, man, I didn't want to go back to WordPress. Like, so like that's how I feel like inside that builder. But I mean, systematically, like the workflows work, you know, everything like that.
Yeah.
You know, the page loads, everything that goes through it. Now, I still use third-party stuff like for email deliverability. I use something like ActiveCampaign still.
Okay.
But all in all, like my purchases, my workflows, everything like that is like a hybrid of GHL, Zapier, and a couple other things, right?
You like Zapier?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Just because it integrates with everything. And you could do that with GHL, but they charge you. And I'm like, if I'm going to be doing that, I might as well just be using Zapier.
Right.
And I can integrate with a lot more things than what the capabilities of GHL has.
Give me an example of what you use Zapier for. What are you connected with?
Perfect for my school community.
Got it. That's what you use it for. Okay.
Right. So
very cool.
So the workflow gets triggered in GHL. I get the notification. It sends a message to Zapier. Hey, by the way, this person just bought. Okay, cool. Then I'm going to do the sequence in order to open up the school community for them, right? So you can't do that on GHO. There's no integration for that, right? Same thing too, like I'm building a couple webinars for people, right? And there's no integration to something like EverWebinar on GHO. So I still have to send it to Zapier anyways in order to make that registration happen.
Got it. It's the middleman, basically.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I love all these tools, and I think they're so useful, but they can be very complicated. So a lot of people stay away.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, and that's why people lean onto something like GHO.
Yes.
Right. It's very, you know, you still have to have a tech ideology and understanding.
Yes.
But the fact that everything's in one spot makes it lucrative for a lot of people.
And it's cheap.
It's cheap too.
It's not expensive.
So people don't have to be jumping around from all these different platforms.
Right.
Right. When we
Which is annoying. Tons of passwords and this and connections and how they talk to each other and
no, and even that, like going back to like, you know, something like ClickFunnels Classic, right? Okay, well, you're my landing page. Okay, well, I still need my email. Well, I need to send it to something like ActiveCampaign. Okay,
Yes.
well, I'm doing a webinar. I still need to send it to EverWebinar. You know, I need to, you know, do XYZ. Oh, I need to send my leads to HubSpot. Well, I need to do that because HubSpot is my CRM for my sales team.
Yeah.
Versus with GHO, that kind of like is
it's all in one.
All in one. You have stuff for your sales team. You have opportunities. You have tags to see where everybody's kind of at. You have your workflows in order to engage stuff. You have your emails, everything like that. Everything's in one spot. So that's why it's lucrative for a lot of people to switch over to that.
Where do you see ads going? Where do you see this whole ecosystem of Meta and ads? Where do you see it going?
I mean, I think where ads is kind of going right now is simplification, because they're trying to get the average Joe onto any platform in order to use it so that they could spend money on it.
Makes sense.
But you also have to have the understanding of how to do the messaging, right? Because even Zuck himself has said, it's like, just give us the creatives. Give us the creatives and we'll just run it for you.
What does that mean?
Basically, it means it's going to a hyper simplistic aspect of paid ads, right? Which that's kind of like what we're seeing right now. Like what I mentioned earlier before, it's like the messaging is what's driving it. Like I don't use interest-based, right? Imagine wiping the platform out and Meta goes, just give me your stuff and we'll run it for you, right? Like kind of taking the ads manager middleman out of the equation. And that's where it's kind of going.
Is that going to be AI based?
100%. But here's the thing. I don't trust Meta, right? As much as I run paid ads on there, I don't trust it, because if you don't have a watchful eye of what's going on in there, Meta could take something and just run with it and spend all your ad dollars on something that's not going to convert.
That's what you mean. Got it.
Yeah. And that happens all the time. And people are like, oh, like I just threw everything into a bucket and just let Meta do its work. I'm like, well, what ended up happening? I didn't get any sales. I'm like, yeah, because you throw all of these images and videos and copy into like one bucket, and Meta's going to be like, I'm just going to take this one and just run with it, right? And that's, even though that Meta's moving into a more simplistic and, hey, just hand me the creatives, I don't know if that's the best choice for a lot of businesses, right? That's great for Fortune 500 companies that don't care about a return. They have to spend a certain amount of money.
Right.
But for the average Joe business, spending $30 is a lot for them.
Oh, yeah.
And if that's not being spent right, then it becomes an issue for them, you know?
Makes sense.
But yeah, simplicity is where I'm kind of seeing everything going to. Now, whether it's right or wrong, again, I don't trust Meta as much as I could throw it, because there should still be some sort of control of how you're going to be able to justify what's working and what's not.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you want to be?
Honestly, like myself in 5 years, I want to be an influencer in this space, right? You know, in the sense like speaking from stage on several big stage, helping out as many people as possible, have a huge educational platform, whether it be paid ads, funnels, you know, agency businesses, things like that.
You're definitely on your way.
Yeah.
100%.
And then I mean, as far as like having an agency, that's not my big picture, because an agency does take a lot of grunt work behind it.
You want to teach.
I want to teach people. I want to help people, and I want to, you know how Myron Golden talks about
Yes.
like, you know, you're either a manager or you are using your knowledge in order to scale.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what I want to be able to do. I want to be able to use my knowledge to be able to scale and help people as much as possible with anything that they have, because it brings me like great joy when people start getting results based off of what I told them to do. Right. And the more that I see that kind of lights up my life and means that I'm making an impact
For sure.
in a bigger way.
How many people do you think you've helped?
I mean, probably like thousands.
That's awesome.
In various different ways.
Yeah.
Whether it be, you know, my coaching program, whether it be my courses, whether it be me doing done-for-you services for them or fractional CMO services for them, probably in the thousands. But my mission this year is to help like 2,000 entrepreneurs with their business. So I'm at 600 inside of my community. If I get that to 2,000, that's like pretty much my goal.
That's awesome.
Of like where I want to go.
What do you charge to work with you? How does someone work with you?
Good question. So I actually just like, because of the amount of work that I have, I actually raised up my prices. So
Good.
if you're spending less than like $15,000 a month on ads, my onboarding fee is $5,500. Month to month, it's $3,500. If you're spending more than that, then it's $7,500 onboarding, and then $5,500 a month over a month. And then if the client wants to, we could talk about either ad spend or rev share, and we could figure that out. On a coaching basis, it's $7,500 and $5,500 a month over month. And that's one-on-one time with me. If you want fractional CMO work from me, like basically I get injected into your business and I look at everything from A to Z, from your ads to your funnels, the strategies that you have inside of your business, and basically the workflows, everything that will lead to either the sale or your sales team. I look at it all. That is 15 initial, and then 10K per month.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Going back to your first plan, spending $15,000 a month on ads, right? What should be the expected return for that, right? Someone spending that much money in ads per month, what should they be seeing coming back?
Good question. And it all goes back to what funnel system or what they're actually utilizing, right? If somebody does a low ticket, like a low ticket funnel, your main aspect for that is to be able to wash out your ad spend.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
But
break even,
right? That's a low ticket funnel. They're spending $27, $37, $47 on the initial product. You have a couple upsells behind it, things like that. But I tell them, I'm like, in order for me to come in and it be utilized for you and make it justifiable for you to spend, for my fee to come in and help you with that low ticket, you have to have an ascension, right? So they have to be pushed either to a monthly recurring or a higher ticket ascension.
Got it. That makes sense.
Because the whole purpose of the low ticket is for you to get paid leads, right? And they're paying with their wallet.
It's a door opener.
It's a door opener, and it's not an email switch. They're paying with their wallet, so they're much more qualified, and you could actually ascend them, right?
Right.
Now, if you're doing something like a video sales letter funnel, the return on that should be at a minimum 3 to 5 times return on your ad spend, right? So for every dollar we pump in, they should be getting anywhere from 2 to 5. Because what we're doing with a video sales letter funnel, we're spending $1,000 to get a client. Their high ticket is anywhere from 3 to 10K, right? So that's justifiable. So if we spend, we spend $1,000, they get they sell $10,000 product, and they sell that. That's 10 times return on your ad spend, right? If it's 5, then that's 5 times return on your ad spend, right? So that's where you're kind of looking at where the video sales letter funnel. With a webinar, to be able to get 2 times your return on ad spend, that's kind of like the goal, because either way, a webinar is a mid-ticket thing, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000, and you're spending, $400 to $500 in order to get that person in, right? So minimum 2x on that.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
What would you say to someone just starting out? They're watching this podcast and they're saying, damn, I can't spend 15 grand a month on ads. What's a good starting place?
I mean, if you're able to spend anywhere from $50 to $100 a day on ads, is a good spot.
Okay.
Right? So if you have a low ticket, like a self-liquidating offer, $50 a day,
Yeah.
to test it out, see if it's converting. If you want to start selling a little bit more higher ticket, don't do the VSO, do the Instaform strategy or do a DM strategy.
Okay.
Spend $50 a day in doing that.
Do you like DM strategies?
Yeah, I actually like it. Whether
Yeah?
it be with the setter or with ManyChat, I think it's very, very powerful.
Do you like ManyChat?
I love ManyChat.
Okay, good.
So you could do that. But I wouldn't go into like, okay, I want to do a VSL and like try to sell my 10K thing with a $50 a day ad spend, right? I will try to get the smallest denominator, right, in the strategy to test it out. And if you start making revenue, then you can start putting ad dollars behind it.
Got it. I love your strategy. I love how you understand that, like, that's a waste of money, right? Try
Yes.
this first, test it out, and then you can really see the numbers and see the data behind it, and then put more money, put more fire, put more gasoline on that fire.
Yeah, correct. So like, I had a consulting call with one of my clients yesterday. She's like, "Oh, I want to run a VSO," and I was like, "Look, I get it, and I know your spot, right? But what's probably your
What does she do?
So she happens to be in a network marketing company, but she's reselling somebody else's product,
Okay,
and she makes affiliate dollars off of it.
got it.
So once we start crunching the numbers, I'm like, you're selling a $2,600 product, but you're making $1,400 back on it. Now, if she was selling the $2,600 product and generate revenue, I would be like, okay, we could kind of do the VSO, right?
Right.
But she's only making $1,400 back on that product.
Yeah,
So-
it's tough.
So I tell her, I'm like, you're going to be spending $250, $300 to get somebody on a call, right? 3 calls, you close 30%. You're going to get one of those that you're going to be spending $1,000 in order to get somebody to.
You're making $400.
You're going to be making $400. Does this really justify you taking this route?
Yes.
Right? So what we're doing with her is that now we're going to be doing the DM strategy, putting a setter inside of her inbox, and getting
Much cheaper.
much cheaper, right? A conversation is at $10 max.
Yeah.
We get a setter, they qualify the person, book them a call, right? So now we're gonna have more conversations that way than having to send them through an entire funnel system that she's going to be paying an arm and a leg and not getting the reward for it.
I read somewhere that Meta actually prefers the DM solution rather than you putting a link that's going to get them out of Instagram.
Correct. They want
They're
you
so
to
confusing.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah, they want you to stay on the platform as much as possible.
right.
Because
The
that's
more
what-
ads you see.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why they have the Insta form, right? Because you fill
Right.
you fill out the form on Meta, right?
You stay on Meta.
You stay on Meta. That's why they have you do the DM, because you're having that conversation inside of a Facebook Messenger or Instagram DM.
Right.
Right. So they want you to do that as much as possible. They kind of penalize you, and your cost goes up once you start going off platform. Right. So they want you to do that. So in order to help the clients with that, I utilize those kinds of strategies,
Right.
in order to justify it before we start spending the money to get,
Because you know it's going to go up.
exactly.
I love how you're very methodical and very calculated about this.
Yeah.
It's great.
I take into consideration the customer in mind and where their situation's at, right? It's not a cookie cutter thing,
No, it's not.
right? Like every customer has a different situation. Every client has a different situation. If they have $100,000 to spend a month, I'm like, okay, let's go like all out and do it, one way or another, right? But if this person only has, an ad spend of $1,000 a month, then okay, then we're going to have to test. We're going to have to go a different route in order to be able to make this happen, right?
Give me an example. What would be that route? Someone $1,000 a month. What route are you taking?
So, for instance, basically testing out a new high ticket offer,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Not justified, don't have customers, things like that, but they want to be able to sell a high ticket offer and see how it kind of works, right?
Yeah.
So instead of doing, a video sales letter, we go into an Insta form, right? And this is if like somebody doesn't have a setter, doesn't have a way to communicate, or doesn't want to really be communicating with people.
Right.
We can, spend $50 a day, get a lead a day, and start testing out the market and start testing out the messaging, right? If we start seeing like after a couple of days, oh man, these aren't the people, they're really low quality. Okay, let's shift the messaging, let's shift the images. Okay, cool. Like, so I look at all the numbers, right? Like we use the numbers as a guideline, like how I was telling you with like CTRs and CTR
Yes.
hauls and things like that. So I start looking at all of that and seeing where we could kind of make adjustments and seeing how we could get that better quality client coming through.
Makes
right?
sense.
And they just have to jump on a call and be like, okay, well, this is the kind of person that I want, or this is not the kind of person I want. Okay, well, let's make the adjustments. Spending $150 to $250 on finding that out versus spending $1,000 a day is,
Huge.
It's huge, right?
Yeah.
But then, like, let's say the person's a little bit more well equipped and they want to be able to have the conversations, then we'll do the DM strategy, right? And the cool thing about the DM strategy that you don't get with the Instaform strategy is this, right? Like, you got to understand, like, Meta understands your habits, understands the way you think, right?
Which is crazy.
It's
But
absolutely
they do. It's fucking nuts, but they do. Yes.
So what you end up doing, what you end up setting your paid ads to is the kind of person they're going to go after, like their behavioral habits.
Right.
Right. So one of the things that one of the ways I like to explain this, right, is like you have stuff like awareness, right, which is a type of objective. Awareness is like your billboard.
Right.
Right. You have something like leads. You exchange an email for it, and you
Right.
have a purchase, somebody you exchange dollars with, right? And the way to kind of like understand how that kind of works, right, is like, let's say you have 1,000 people inside of a mall, and they're walking around, right? Everybody's seeing your storefront. Those 1,000 people are seeing your storefront. That's awareness, right? It's your billboard. But then a fraction of those actually step inside your store and kind of like check it out, but then they walk out.
Right.
That's your lead objective, right? But then you have a fraction of those people that actually walk into your store, get a couple things, go to the register and buy, and then they walk out, right? That's your purchase objective, right? So everybody has different behavioral habits depending on what it is, and Meta knows that, right? So you're getting a different pool of people.
Very
So-
interesting.
So going back to the DM strategy, what I like about the DM strategy is that you can actually set that to a purchase versus a lead, right? The people that interact as a lead is completely different how the people interact as a purchase.
100%.
Right? So you could actually do
Very
that
cool.
for a DM and have it set up for every conversation to the purchase, and now you get higher intent people coming through.
Wow.
And that's why I love the DM strategy so much, especially when you could do something like that.
That's some gem you just dropped right now. That's really good.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered having your own YouTube channel?
Yes.
Because you should.
Yeah. I've tried many times.
You spit some fire. You do. You spit some fire, man.
Thank you.
You're really knowledgeable. Like, just listening to you, I can tell how much knowledge you have and how much you really understand. Like, I would trust you to come into my company and look at my entire process. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I feel that confidence coming from you.
Yeah, and I love doing that kind of stuff because I geek out. Like, you know, when I was working for people like Grant and stuff like that, like I was able to see their entire structure and like what was happening, right? And
That's powerful.
And one of the things that I really helped them out with was fixing two of their main funnels. They had like a real estate funnel, webinar, and they had a real estate book funnel as well. And they were both trying to figure out like how to make it profitable.
Right.
Right. So going back to like how I mentioned about how people interact on the platform and having a lead objective and a purchase objective makes
Yes.
a huge difference.
Huge.
Right. So when I grabbed, you know, that webinar funnel, it was set to a lead objective. And basically what I saw was like, okay, we're getting like 800 leads a day. That's great, but we're not really profitable on the funnel. And changing it to a purchase, yes, we caught our lead flow by half, but we were actually starting to be profitable.
Wow.
Right? And then I saw something too. I'm like, okay, well, the book is not profitable either. And if you don't know anything about a book funnel, it's not like it's almost like a self-liquidating offer, like you know, but it's self-liquidating. It's digital. Book funnel, you're actually shipping something physical. So you have to not only adjust for your ad spend, but you have to adjust for
Shipping.
the cost of the book and the shipping of the book, right? So for every dollar you spend, you need $2 back in order for you to be able to break even.
Wow.
And what ended up happening, we were trying to get there, and I was like, what if we just like everybody that goes into that webinar that doesn't purchase, what if we just retarget them with the book? And the sales flew for the book.
Wow.
Right? So I looked
Because they were already in the system.
they were already in the system. They already knew Grant.
Yes.
They were on the webinar. And then they're like, okay, well, let me just buy something lower to get to know Grant more. And then that we could actually get them to ascend even further.
Smart.
Right? So when I come in a business, I look at the entire ecosystem, right? I did the exact same thing with Brandon Turner, right? Like I came in as a marketing manager, saw their ecosystem. I'm like, you guys have a VSL funnel that you guys are just going straight to purchase on a $300 a month. I'm like, that's not going to make sense, right? Like, you're trying to justify somebody buying a $300 a month product by doing it cold, right? So I changed that. I helped them, you know, basically letting them know you have to bring in a sales team
Right.
on this aspect, because even though it's $300, you think it's cheap, people are still going to ask questions, right? $17 a month is easy, but $300 a month, people are going to have questions.
For sure.
Right? So I changed that entire framework, and then I'm like, okay, well, let's get better quality people. So learning what I learned from Grant, I'm like, let's do this. We made a self-liquidating offer, ran traffic to that first, and then retargeted everybody to the VSL, and it skyrocketed their sales.
Wow.
Right. So I look at the entire infrastructure of what's kind of going on in the whole marketing aspect to make those adjustments so that we can have a system that actually works and is really profitable at the end.
Yeah, man. You need a YouTube channel. You do. You really do.
Yeah, I mean, I've really tried to get a YouTube channel, but either I get too busy or I don't get consistent. I think it's like podcasts die by like the third episode. That's what usually ends up happening.
Yep, they do. They don't last.
Yeah.
But I think if you maybe like planned it out,
Yeah.
like plan out 5 episodes,
Yeah.
title them, and then give bullet points of what you're going to talk about each episode,
Yeah.
and do it once a week.
Yeah. I'm not a script kind of guy. I'm a bullet point kind of guy.
Yeah. Do a bullet point.
Yeah.
Do 3 or 4 bullet points of what you're going to talk about, and go.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely a consideration because
Because that's going to grow your influence, and I know
Oh, yeah,
that's what you
100%.
want. That's going to grow.
100%.
You'll become the authority. I watch a lot of YouTube, a lot, and I don't hear anyone talking like you do. I don't hear it. No one gets technical. No one gets granular. No one is comparing leads to sales. I'm sorry, leads to purchase.
Yeah.
No one is doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, and the funny enough thing is like I've had to understand on how to present it in a way so that everybody understands, right? If you can't present it at a 5th grade level, then nobody's going to grasp.
Nobody.
Nobody's going to grasp. What
No, because that shit is so overwhelming.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, you know, like people like yourself that like know about it but aren't that technical with it are looking on how to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And a lot of the guys on YouTube are very technical because they're trying to do it for people that are already doing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yes. There's a whole market out there.
Yeah.
Waiting to be talked to like a 5-year-old.
Yeah, it's funny enough because even my kids know like what I do, which is awesome.
But that's awesome.
Yeah.
Get them early.
Yeah.
Get them started early because
Yeah.
this is the future.
Yeah,
You know, this ain't going nowhere.
yeah,
Facebook has what? 4 billion people on their platform,
yeah, easy
growing.
and growing. Yeah,
You know? So yeah. Man, incredible conversation.
yeah. Thank you.
You are very knowledgeable. You might end up doing an agency one day. I just see it. I just see it, man.
Like big scale agency.
I don't know if it'll be like, I think you're gonna find a way to automate the fuck out of it.
I mean, I'll try.
You know what I mean?
I definitely try.
Because I can see it.
I mean, funny enough, like
You're too knowledgeable not to make money on this.
yeah,
Teaching is great,
yeah.
but you could make millions and millions and millions.
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, honestly, like the agency is great, but you're capped
Why?
because it's the amount of people you have, the amount of clients you have churn, everything like that, right? And you can have a multi-million-dollar company doing agency work, right? But it's only as big as the person that's running it, right? Like you're capped at a certain point, right?
Right.
They're going to be like, hey, I want Eddy to do all my stuff. There's only so much that I can do. And the moment that you start removing yourself away from the agency model, things start falling apart, right? Even with systems and everything like that. But the educational model is limitless, right? That could be $100 million business.
This is where you bridge the two.
Exactly, right?
Right.
So like you have one working with the other, but there will be to a point that on the agency model aspect of it, I would only want to be able to work with high influential people.
Right.
I wouldn't want to be working with like the little Nancy's and things like that,
Right.
right? So like I would want to be handpicking and
For
selecting
sure.
who I would want.
Hear me out real quick. You can take your top 5 students, certify them, and now they represent you.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's actually what I'm doing. And like, funny enough, like as looking for this junior media buyer
Yeah?
thing, like it's so crazy because my ads are like worldwide.
Okay.
And I've put out like, you know, a hit inside of my school community. Hey, I'm looking for oh my God, Eddy, I want to work with you. I'm like, okay, that's like kind of cool. Right. I have one of my buddies that he's helping me out with like the interviews and everything like that. And every single one of them was like, no, I want to work with that. Am I going to be working with Eddy directly? And I'm like, dude, that's like pretty crazy, right? So to be thinking about that, it was like.
They're popular, bro.
But funny enough, like I get people like, dude, I'm seeing your ads everywhere, bro. Like your ads are amazing, this and that. I'm like, dude, it's like kind of freaky, right?
The power of it, right? It's very powerful.
But yeah, like I would want to get either way, like the people that I want to be able to build up in my agency are going to be students.
Yes.
Like I want to make sure that they learn. I don't want to be like, no, just throw your strategies and your systems into it. I'm like, no, like.
As a podcaster, I needed a place to share my voice and hear other stories. That's how Forge Studios was born. A place created not just for me, but for everyone searching for something more. An environment where as soon as you walk in, you feel the energy and you feel welcomed. Where being seen and heard is part of the experience. A place for entrepreneurs to share their journey, for creators to bring ideas to life, for businesses to grow authentically. A space that values mental health, encourages real conversations, and supports those who turns ideas into impact. Here at the Forge Studios, creativity, culture, and purpose aligns and comes together to help you create something greater. A place where we leave the filters behind and we start expressing ourselves for real. The Forge Studio. Your journey starts here. Your impact starts now.
You're going to learn on how we become successful. The same strategies I've used for bigger names,
Right.
Like how I was able to get them in a certain way. You're going to learn on how to be able to do that. And I want you to use that because the strategies I use, whether you're small, whether you're a multi-million-dollar company, it still works.
Right.
You know? And I think it's going to be the end of time at the end of the day, right? Because like what we're saying, Meta's platform's changing, right? But if you do things in a certain way, so you know what's kind of working,
Right.
and then you scale that, that's going to stand the test of time. The basics is going to stand the test of time. And
sure.
people try to get too technical sometimes.
I agree. Good copy, right? Directed at the person that needs to see it.
Yeah.
It's really much all you need to start.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I implement like this a testing strategy. I call it like the STS framework, right?
Okay.
So it's structure, right? Like how we're going to strategically build inside of Meta, how we test our stuff, and then how we scale it, right? Because everybody's like, okay, and again, throwing it in a bucket, I'm just going to let Meta do its thing, right? And I
Right.
told you, like, I don't trust Meta.
Yeah.
So what I do is like, I don't trust Meta, but I give it guardrails in order so I could test it in a specific way, right? So
You know how to guide it. You know how to handle it.
yeah. So in any instance, everybody will put ads inside of a bucket. One of those ads will take all the spend. I don't do that. If I have 5 ads, I have 5 buckets, 1 ad per each bucket,
Why is that?
because I can control the spend.
Okay.
Right? If you put it inside of a bucket, and in this instance, a bucket's an ad set, right? You put those 5 in there, you have no control of how those ads are going to spend inside of there.
It's however the algorithm chooses.
It's however the algorithm chooses. But when you control spend is either on the campaign level or on the ad set level, right? You have those two options. And if you can control the budget on the ad side, well, now I just put 1 creative, and if I have 5 and I have $100, I could spend $20 on each one to make sure if that creative is going to work or not.
Wow.
Yeah, it gets a little bit more expensive on the beginning, but then once you find out what's really working,
Yeah.
and you scale, it becomes much more lucrative, and you start making all your spend back.
Man, I think my head's spinning. What a very deep technical conversation we're having about ads. It's great. You have a lot to teach. It's great. It's great. Your students must be very, very happy.
Yeah, they are. They are.
That's incredible. Good for you, man.
Thank you.
You're going to be exactly what you want to be. I can see you being that top influencer, working with the top influencers, having a massive crew of students, speaking on stages, having your own YouTube channel.
But that's coming soon. So.
One last question for you. How do you balance the business family dynamic?
That's a very good question, because it is a hard balance, right? Especially with how much busier I'm kind of getting right now.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, you know, I have a wife that's very understanding. I have kids that understand that their Nintendo.
And she's also an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that helps a lot.
So it helps, because if she wasn't an entrepreneur, it would be very, very difficult for her to understand
Right.
what's kind of going on in my world. So the cool thing about it is that she's also a little bit involved in my business, so she understands what's kind of going on, and you know, where I'm heading and what's kind of happening, right? So
Right.
she even helps out a little bit. But my kids also know as well, like, Daddy's working, Daddy's doing this. They know that their next Nintendo comes from what I'm doing,
Correct.
you know, inside of my office, right? But
Kids love the Nintendos.
oh no, dude! I
They
mean,
love that thing.
dude, if they could have it all day, they would. But
Yes.
even if you do give it to them all day, they cry when you take it away from them.
Yes.
So, but it comes to an understanding that, one, they know what I'm doing and what I'm trying to achieve, right? But then secondly, I also do have to carve out that time,
Yeah.
right? So in the mornings, especially when the kids are home from school, try to spend as much time with them as possible. And then in the afternoons, before they go to bed, I try to spend time with them as much as possible, right? They know when I have to do events or when I'm doing my masterminds and things
Right.
like that, you know? So they get that. But then I think where it really matters the most is on the weekends, right? Like trying to do activities with them and trying to take them out to like things like Top Golf or mini putt or, you know,
Right.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Or birthday parties.
You know,
and-
birthday
yeah,
parties,
all
things,
that.
things like that. And then like on Sundays, we really try to keep it like as much as a family day as possible, right? So going to church in the morning, cooking breakfast for the family,
Nice.
hanging out with them, maybe doing, you know, sometimes my extended family, like, hey, come over, we're celebrating a birthday party, we'll go do that. You know, so I try to be as interactive with them as possible, but they have a good understanding of what I'm trying to achieve.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's important, right? Because like you have their support, right?
Yes.
You guys are all backing each other.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
And you have a beautiful family.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
they need you, bro. They need you.
No, and the thing is, like, one of my personal goals for years was always like, I want to be successful enough that they don't have to worry about anything, but we could get to the point that we're always taking vacations, you know, business running on its own and
Yes.
things like that. So I know it's a grind right now where it's at, but the end goal would be like, hey, you guys want to go, you know, to New York? I mean, for a week?
Whatever.
You know, let's go do that. You guys want to go to Colorado and go snowboarding? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
they're a little bit younger now, but when they get older, I want to be able to have that because
It's freedom.
exactly. But also, I have to think about it. When I was growing up as a kid, my dad never did that for me. Right?
Same.
Like, my dad never took me to Disney World. It was my grandparents that took me to Disney World, right? Like, at least I do that with my kids right now, right? Like, whenever my wife's like, let's go take a trip to Disney World, let's go plan it, I'm there.
I
You know?
get it.
I
But
make
the
that-
first time I went to Disney, I was 35, 36, 34.
Yeah. So, like, you know, even with that, like, if we plan a small vacation, things like that, like, I'm still there.
Right.
But I want to be able to do that more often and not have the stress of being behind a laptop and that's,
I got a coaching call. I got this. I got that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
you know, that not being my focal point of, like, I need to be behind a computer all day long.
Matter of time.
Yeah.
Just a matter of time. Keep grinding, man. I don't see another path for you. You're definitely gonna get there.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for coming today.
Absolutely.
Incredible conversation. We've gone for almost 90 minutes.
Damn.
Yeah.
This is going to be a long podcast.
Yeah, what's 90 minutes? 87 minutes. We've been jamming.
Man.
Incredible. Do me a favor. Look at that camera. Let everybody know where they can find you, your IG, your coaching program, whatever you want to share.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Eddy Miranda, and where you guys could find me is on Instagram and on Facebook. The URL is Eddy D Miranda. And then if you guys want to check out my course and know a little bit about what it is that I do with paid ads, check out metaAdsEssentials.com.
It's a great URL.
Yeah.
Smart to put meta ads in there.
Yeah. And the thing is, it's like the reason I have essentials in there is because it's what you need. Like
Right.
it's the bare bone, right? So like the strategies that I shared with you, like how I do my STS framework, how I do the Instaform, how I do the DMs, that's all inside that course.
That's awesome.
It's the essentials. It's not overfluffed. It's not super complicated. It's what people need as
To get started.
Yeah. Or even like that's the backbone of everything that you kind of need in order to be able to run ads.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I'll make sure to put that link down below so you guys can go click on it and take advantage of that.
Appreciate it.
Incredible, man. Thank you, bro. I really appreciate you coming.
Yeah. Thank you.
Guys, he just dropped so much gems in an hour and a half. If you didn't take notes, if you're not going to click on that link right now, something's wrong with you.
Yeah.
If you're an influencer, if you're a business person, if you're an entrepreneur and you need more leads, you gotta run ads.
Yep.
Go to Eddy.
It's the kerosene. It's
Yes.
the kerosene. Like I've seen businesses fall, scale and fall because they either use ads or they don't use ads.
That's crazy. You heard it here first.
Yep.
You want to be successful? Run Facebook ads.
Yep.
Guys, go follow Eddy, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and we'll see you guys next time.